everyone, it's Jack and Sam from cultaholic.com, and guess what? We are all in.
Yeah, all in from a distance.
From Newcastle.
Yeah, from Newcastle.
That's right, we will be reacting to All In on Saturday night, which will not be a live stream, I should point out, but will go out afterwards. The belt's on the line, it's all kicking off with our predictions contest, and as always, we have some lovely punishments. But just before we get into those, there is a very exciting deal to tell the lovely fans about. If you want $15 of free credit on Fight TV, where of course All In is being broadcast.
Yeah, and you can buy it for that.
You can. Then you can get $15 of free credit by going to cultaholic.com/all-in. Now, as always, there's a choice of 3 potential punishments for the loser of the predictions contest, which you can vote for at our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/cultaholic.
But there's a bit of a difference this time, isn't there? Because usually we will be told ahead of time what our punishments are going to be in great detail. This time, we were just handed a piece of paper that just had words on it.
Themes.
Yeah,
general themes.
So we don't know what they are, and they all sound a bit scary.
Yeah, the 3 options that you can vote for are Bear, I guess because of the business bear of All In, or Barnaby the business bear. There was also Barry, the drug-free bear, which I thought was going to be CM Punk, but...
he might still be. You know, they unveiled him a couple of times as different people.
Yeah, true.
You know,
true.
Could just be different berries. There is also Poker Face.
Poker Face,
which
is All In.
All In, yeah, poker. And then this one, I don't know what this one could possibly be, but it's All In Chops.
Who knows what that could be? All In Chops. Wow. So to vote for those options, once again, head to patreon.com/cultaholic. So we start things off with the pre-show Battle Royal, or the over-budget Battle Royal, as it has been called.
0 hour.
Yes. There's still a few unannounced names for the Battle Royal.
There's 4 slots, right?
I think there's 4 unannounced ones so far, but there's a lot of names already been mentioned for it. Just a few examples are Brian Cage, Jimmy Jacobs, Moose,
Big
our
bad
favourite
Daddy.
Yeah, I've not gone for Moose, but I was so tempted just to go for Moose. The winner of that receives a Ring of Honor World title shot against Jay Lethal on the main show. Sam, who have you got and why?
Well, I'm booking with my heart here.
Right.
I'm not booking with my head. I know that we've been back and forth on who we think's going to win this for a while.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Flip Gordon because I just want to see him get booked. Like, I'd get him in there, get him up against Jay Lethal for the belt.
Fair enough.
I think it just makes the most sense because then Cody will come out all angry.
Of course, Flip, the story has been that Flip has not been able to get booked.
Yeah.
He's had many chances to, and he's been kind of screwed out of some.
Yeah.
He's lost a few matches and stuff, and the whole joke is that Cody just is so against booking Flip Gordon for All In, which almost guarantees in a way that he's going to be on the show somehow.
Because he's a flat earther, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's a risky choice there because he's not actually one of the announced names yet.
Yes, he's not announced, but I have a feeling that they're not going to announce these surprise slots.
Yeah, right.
I think they're going to be,
Gangrel,
Juventud Guerrera,
Papa
Shango,
and Flip Gordon. Yeah, fair enough. I've gone for one of the names that has been announced, but again, it's a bit of a gamble. I think they're going to go for Jimmy Jacobs to win this.
Right.
I think because he was such a key figure in the history of Ring of Honor before he went to WWE and then got fired from WWE for taking a selfie with the Bullet Club. Now he's obviously an Impact, but I think they might go for a nostalgia thing where Jacobs wins, gets his shot at Jay Lethal, and, it's kind of an old school Ring of Honor thing because Jacobs was kind of the Undertaker almost of Ring of Honor for a bit.
In the Age of the Fall and everything like that. And it's just, we haven't yet seen a solid gold Jacobs match for a long time, have we?
That's why I'm so...
Since the Impact return, and I'd really like Jacobs to have a standout match, so I do see where you're coming from with that.
I just don't know if he wrestles proper for long matches anymore, if he just manages. So I honestly don't know. It's like yours, it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
But I'm going for Jimmy Jacobs.
You're going to go all in on Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah, I certainly am. All of my predictions are all in, but yes, I'm going all in on Jimothy Jacobs.
So next up, in a tag team match, we have the Briscoe brothers versus SoCal Uncensored, which is... Yes, it's Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. My brain just melted there for a second.
I see where you might go confused because Daniels is on
the card. Yeah,
we'll get to that in a bit. But I'm going to go for the Briscoes. This is one of the ones that I think could go either way.
Yeah.
Because SoCal Uncensored have had much more of a story in the build-up, which is, again, not much of a story, but they've been showing up on being the elite.
Yeah.
And whichever town they're in, they've been going, this is the worst town I've ever been in, it's not as good as LA. So, or Southern California in general, I guess.
Yes.
But they're the heels. I assume the Briscoes are going to be the faces, and it'll be just a fast, exciting match to warm the crowd up. Because it's on the pre-show, I'm going to go for the Briscoes just because I think no one will want to see SoCal Uncensored win, and it'll keep the crowd hot if the babyfaces win on the pre-show, but this is one of the ones that I'm not too certain about. Who have you got?
Yeah, well, I sort of went into this thinking it was a different match entirely, and I sort of just realised what it is. So I have gone for the Briscoes because they are the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions in their 9th historic reign, and they're mega babyface, and everybody loves them, and don't Google their history.
Yeah, don't do that.
And yeah, I think it's just a way to get the crowd hot as hell with a Briscoe victory. But I originally thought this was for the Ring of Honor Tag Team belt, so I was like, "There's a no-brainer."
Yeah.
But now I know it's not. I'm sort of a bit. Ooh, they could eke out a bit of a win, but it's. I'm assuming it's going to main event the pre-show, or is it going to open the pre-show? What do you think?
I've got no idea. There's only 2 matches.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So I just think it makes the most sense to get all that fire with a big baby face and get everybody going into the show happy.
Now to the main show. We have no idea what order this is in, but we're going to start off with Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll. Who have you gone for and why?
The former Rainmaker, Mr. Okada, balloon enthusiast. Just don't see him losing.
Yeah.
Like he's Kazuchika Okada. It's going to be a hell of a match. And him against Marty is going to be like, you're going to see a lot of lovely technical mastery. But I just don't see Okada being on the show and being allowed to be on the show if he's going to lose.
Yeah, especially.
And I get that they're both New Japan guys, but he's like, Marty is a junior and he's in Bullet Club, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep of victories for Bullet Club all night.
No, I agree. I think that Marty is a bit like, if he were to win, if he were to beat Okada, it would blow open the whole New Japan division system. Yeah. Like, suddenly you'd have juniors being able to beat heavyweights, and I don't think they're quite ready for that yet.
Yeah, I don't think that's ready.
So I'm going to agree and go with Okada. The story on being the elite has been that Marty realises that he's in way over his head.
Yeah.
Everyone's been going, Marty, you're way too small to beat Okada. Okada then bumped into him in a corridor and went 205 to him. I think Okada's going to win, despite his sort of weird mental breakdown over the past few months since he lost the belt. I still think he's going to pick up a big win. I don't think New Japan would let him lose now. So yes, we've both gone for Okada.
Next up we have Christopher Daniels taking on Arrow's Stephen Amell. Who have you got and why?
Oh, this is a difficult one, right? Because obviously Daniels should win, right?
Yeah.
He's a wrestler. He's not an actor.
I mean, he's not just any wrestler either. He's Christopher Daniels.
Yes.
He's a living legend.
But if any match is going to be a cluster F and a bit of a schmoz, then it's going to be this one. I think we'll see SoCal Uncensored run in. I think we'll potentially see Cody maybe make an appearance, although he does have a match elsewhere on the card. And I think that something will happen. Interesting to note, do you remember who Stephen Amell tagged with in WWE?
No.
Neville.
Was it Nev? Big Geordie Nev?
Big Geordie Nev.
And where's Big Geordie Nev not working anymore?
No one knows.
Where's he not working?
Well, he's not working in WWE anymore, but no one knows where he is. I don't know if he's allowed to compete yet for another promotion.
Well, the thing is with this is the WWE has this non-compete clause, and apparently it just doesn't stand up in court. So they will slap it on you, but you have to be willing to go to court and spend some money and basically have the judge throw it out. So and I think Del Rio managed to do it successfully. There's been a few other people in the past, but it's not legally sound, but they can put it in, and you have to basically spend money to get free of that. Right. So if they're willing to get this huge, pop for Neville, they're going to have to be willing to get a bit of payment going on. I
don't know if Neville will appear, but I'm going to go for Stephen Amell. I just think that it's going to be the sort of comeuppance of Daniels for being the leader of SoCal Uncensored and saying, oh, this is the worst town ever. I think Amell will eke out a victory, but at the same time, it's not what I'm confident on, just because Daniels is such a respected veteran of the business.
Amell's such an underdog, but I'm just going to have to go with Daniels, because I think it'll be a horrible, sneaky, nasty heel win. Yeah. Like, maybe some complete interference, something like that, but I think Daniels is going to just... I think Amell's going to carry him to a good match.
He's going to carry Amell to a good match?
No, Amell's going to carry Daniels.
Okay, yeah.
No, I think they're going to have a great match, and I think I just don't see Christopher Daniels losing. I just don't. Okay,
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Next up, a four-way match featuring Madison Rayne, Chelsea Green, Britt Baker, and Tessa Blanchard. Who have you got and why?
I've got big bag Tessie B. I think she's on an absolute tear at the minute.
Yeah.
And she's possibly, don't quote me on this, the biggest female name on the indie scene, or one of the biggest up-and-coming names on the female indie scene. And she's just great. I don't get what a lot of people don't like her. A lot of people don't really have that sort of outlook on her, but I think, I don't know, there's an NWA match later on the card. She's Tully's daughter. Like, I'm just going to go with my heart, and I'm going to go for Tessa Blanchard. I
agree. I'm going to go with Tessa Blanchard as well. I think she's a great wrestler. Impact are pushing her quite hard at the minute. I think she's probably going to be their next, or she's going to be the Knockouts champion somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
So I've not got much more to say. I see Tessa Blanchard more than the others reasonably winning this one, especially more than Madison Rayne, who has just competed in the Mae Young Classic. Don't know how far she got, don't know how well she did, but the fact that she's turning up on this show. She's
a bit of a sneaky heely, so it could be, a bit of a weird one, but Tessa could eke out the win.
She turned, but Madison Rayne turned a bit face before the end. Remember her last match was against Sue Young and she got dominated. I guess I'm gonna stick with Tessa Blanchard as well.
Next up, we have the bad boy Joey Janela versus Hangman Page in a Chicago street fight. Who you got and why?
This is another one that I don't have a clue who's going to win, but I think I'm going to go with Joey Janela because Page has got a lot more exposure recently thanks to his work in New Japan and being a prominent member of Bullet Club on being the elite and that sort of thing. But I think that Joey Janela is going to win this one because it's sort of his time to have a win on a bigger scale. Joey Janela's like a cult hero of the indie scene. He's got shows named after himself. He's big and evolve and that sort of thing.
He's also a big street fight wrestler guy.
Yes, he is. And, originally I was going to go for Page and I changed it at the last minute because I thought, Janela, this is tailor-made for him to take a horrible bump and lose.
Yeah.
But I think he might win. And I don't know why, I just feel as though this could be a big step back for Page in terms of let someone else get over because Page's got his whole future ahead of him. He's great. I think Janela might win this one. Who have you got?
I've gone for Hangman Page.
Right.
Because I just feel like it's, you need that sort of first Bullet Club win on the show.
Right.
And he can, do whatever he wants. People are still going to be absolutely mental for both of them.
Yeah, true.
But it's going to be really weird, isn't it, the crowd? They're just going to cheer for everybody. There's going to be no booing.
I think this could be match of the night.
Yeah, really?
It could be. I think it could be.
I just think there's going to be some heinous spots, absolutely heinous stuff going on, but I just see Page sneakily winning, or just completely obliterating Janela, or Janela wiping himself out by accident, really gunning for it. Maybe he goes for one extra thing when he should have just rolled him up, something like that.
Well, we'll see. But this is one that we crucially differ on. Page versus Janela. Could be match of the night.
Could be.
Next up, one of the other potential matches of the night, and one that I'm really looking forward to. Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. /Dark /Penta L0M
Penta El Cerro Miedo
lovely man in real life.
Yeah.
Really lovely guy.
Really unassumingly nice guy.
Really looks really normal. All this stuff. Who have you got and why?
Kenny Omega, basically in a very similar way to Okada. I think, Kenny Omega's obviously not... He's a New Japan guy, but he works independents all over the shop. But I think Pentagon is going to have a hell of a match with them. I think it's going to be really brutal. But I don't think it's sort of wise for Kenny to be beaten by Pentagon when there's not really been a track record there. I think if they were to do a rematch, maybe Pentagon takes that. But for me, I just think Kenny will win somehow, just pull out the win. And Pentagon, it'll be a big respectful handshake type deal.
I agree. I think this was maybe the easiest pick for me. I think I'm going to say Kenny Omega's also going to win. I think that Omega won't lose a singles match for a long time.
Yeah.
Now that he's the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, he beat Okada. I think it's going to take a lot to knock him off his perch. And I think
exactly.
At the minute, he is probably, in total kayfabe terms, probably the strongest wrestler in the world, the most protected one.
Yeah, and he's not going to be losing matches if he's the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So
Kenny Omega, pretty certain.
Next up, and this one ties into our very first prediction, it's the Ring of Honor Championship match, which is Jay Lethal versus the over-budget Battle Royal winner. Who have you got, and why have you got him?
So, I said Jimmy Jacobs was going to win the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And if that is true, then I can't see him actually winning the belt from Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
I think Lethal will retain. Hopefully, even if my first prediction's wrong, this one's right and Jay Lethal retains the belt anyway. Just because of all the other stuff on the show, this is one that I've kind of decided by process of elimination. So you've got the big NWA title match.
Yeah.
You've got big matches going off all over the place. And even though it's the Ring of Honor World title match, it's not actually one of the biggest matches on the card.
Yeah.
So I think if they were going to do a title change, they'd save it for their own Ring of Honor show. They'd save it for a bigger deal. So I think just on that logic, I'm going to go with Jay Lethal.
So you're going for that classic lineup I'm going, obviously, I went with Flip. I don't think Flip would take the belt. Obviously, I'm very similar to you. I think if Ring of Honor wanted to move their belt around, they do it at their own show.
Yeah.
But I think there is probably nobody better in the business than at doing the whole, respect speech after defeating an opponent when they've tried very hard to get the belt than Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
So, I think Flip is going to take him for all he's got and still just come up just short, and Lethal and him will have a big embrace, and it'll be like, wait, maybe another time.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That makes sense too. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense about Flip going.
It does,
yeah. Next up, maybe the most heavily promoted match on the card, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Worlds, because it's old school. World Heavyweight Championship match between the champion, Nick Aldis, otherwise known in his TNA days as Magnus, versus the man behind All In, Cody Rhodes, or Cody R. I think... No, sorry, I'm being very impolite there.
Oh, what I was going to say.
Who have you got and why?
It was his daddy's belt, It's Cody. It's Cody all day. I just think that belt needs somebody to elevate it, take it around the world, and make it a big deal again. And there's nobody in the world that can do that better, I think, at this point in time than Cody Rhodes. He's all over the shop.
Yeah.
He's working US, he's working UK, he's working Japan, obviously. And if he's got that belt everywhere he goes, he's going to turn it into a real world's belt. It's not just going to be getting defended through the 50 states. So, I just think it makes sense. And, a huge event. And, obviously, we know historically that Dusty was very vocal about Cody being mistreated by WWE and just wanting better for his son. And for him to win the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, at a show that he's helped promote and produce, in front of the largest non-WWE event since 1993, I think it is. It just makes sense.
I think I'm going to agree. Well, one thing that threw me off a little bit was, I think I was reading The Observer or something, where it sort of described this match as Cody sort of mimicking his dad, going after the belt that Dusty held a few times, but also a big part of Dusty's story was that he came up short a lot and didn't quite win the belt. And I thought, would the most Cody thing to do to come close and not actually win the belt and surprise everyone?
Yeah.
But I think the situation's too perfect for him to win, so I'm going to stick with Cody and agree with you. I'm surprised. It's been rumoured that this actually isn't the main event, and that the main event we'll talk about in a second. But I was surprised initially.
It's not really rumoured. They've been talking about it quite openly. I think, it's still not confirmed. But whenever anybody's asked, they've confirmed, on Twitter and stuff, that was going to go on last.
So I was surprised because I thought this match would definitely go on last. I thought we'd have the big moment with Cody winning, and having his dad's belt at the end and stuff. But even though it's not in the main event, I still think we'll get a big sort of happy ending to this match. I think Cody will win.
So finally, next up, the rumoured main event, we have the Golden Elite, which is Kota Ibushi and the Young Bucks versus Rey Mysterio, Fénix, and Bandido. Who have you got in this massive main event, 6-man tag main event, massive main event, and why?
I've gone for the Golden Elite because this whole event has been built up by the Elite.
Yes.
It's been built by... It's not just Cody, it's the Young Bucks as well.
Yeah.
I think I'd be very shocked if they didn't win at their own show.
Yeah.
I'd also be shocked if Ibushi didn't win because he's currently one of the hottest stars in the world. Especially in New Japan, he came very close to winning the G1 and didn't. But I think could next year go into new heights, and it could be his year, 2019.
Yeah.
But it's 2019 next year.
I know, it's grim.
So yes, I'm going to go with the Young Bucks and Ibushi. But at the same time, I think that other team, the lineup is... This match could be insane. Mysterio is obviously a legend and can still go.
Yeah.
Bandido, I'm not too familiar with, but I've heard that he's amazing.
I've heard amazing things about him,
Fénix is class and maybe, for my money, the most underrated wrestler in the world today. So this match is going to be insane, especially if Nick Jackson recovers from... Apparently he had a virus, but he's getting better.
Yeah.
So... Especially if he recovers from that, this match could be incredible. But I don't think we could end the show with anything other than a big promo with the Bucks and Cody and everyone in the ring going we're the best wrestlers. But yes, who have you got and why?
For very much the same reasons, the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi, the Golden Elite. Just because, it's their show. And... maybe it would be dictated that they shouldn't win at their own show, but it's their own show and they should be bloody proud of themselves. And I think, you're right, it's going to be this big high, and, Cody will come out and Kenny will come out and it'll be, really nice and everybody goes home happy. to absolutely touch themselves dry to.
Great. Yeah, so we've both agreed on that one there. The Golden Elite. So those are our predictions for All In this Saturday on Fight TV. If you want $15 of free credit on Fight TV, then head to cultaholic.com/all in for further details. The link should be in the description down below. Don't forget as well to vote for our punishment at patreon.com/cultaholic. And there's not much more to say. I've been Jack. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack the Jobber.
I've been Sam. You can follow me on Twitter at LessDefined.
And don't forget to hit subscribe and to join us.
Yeah.
Join us.
All in.
Join us. All in.